you're going to lose all the stuff you got in the cloud because you haven't paid your subscription. Well, I don't have anything in the cloud, so take it all, bastards.
I don't pay extra for Google. I take what they give me. I don't do anything extra. I'm just like,
Okay, well, hell. Okay.
I'm just waiting on Facebook. YouTube is up and running. Oh, Facebook is running.
Son of a bitch.
I know, really.
Now, if I have anything open over here. Ooh. Hello. Hello.
What's that over here?
Hello. Where is that audio coming from?
Mm-hmm.
You're not hot, are you?
Yes.
Okay, we better be quiet. I just don't know where it's coming from.
That one. There's the sirens already this morning.
Hello. Okay, whatever that one. Whoa, no, that's still there. Hello. Well, I don't know what it is.
Oh, shooting at a soccer game in Mexico. 11 dead, 12 injured. Wow. Listen to the rain. I'm going to want to go to sleep now.
Okay.
I gotta get rid of this cough.
Everything we're doing going to Facebook. So have you got a way to listen to Facebook very quickly?
Let me go in there and unmute it. Let's do it.
See if you're hearing us. Hello, folks out there. If you can hear us, just ignore us right now because we're not live yet.
No.
You cannot hear us at all?
Wait a minute. Do it again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 8, 9, 11.
Yep.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 8, 9, 11.
Yep.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep, you were live.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's still there. Coming directly from an audition channel somewhere. If you would, okay, people, we'll be with you in just a second or 17. I guess we could go. I can hear raindrops on the roof.
I know, it's making me sleepy.
And good morning, I guess it is. And see now, maybe that's working. And we apologize if you're hearing things that we don't even know where they're coming from, because we don't.
All is good.
Yeah, all is good. I'm Rayford Brown.
I'm Lee Barrels.
And welcome to Live and Local Real Talk.
Monday edition.
It's not Monday, is it?
It's Monday.
Is it Monday again? Oh,
yes, Monday.
Doggone it. Another Monday. I'm going to join the protesters who oppose ICE, by the way. I came to that conclusion over the weekend.
You're talking about the cold, wet ice,
For
right?
months now, what I thought were a bunch of uneducated morons, which includes at least one governor and the mayor of a major city, have been
Amen.
chanting, berating, and claiming that ICE has been responsible for egregious actions against Americans. I thought they were full of donkey poop. But I guess I misunderstood what the protests were all about. After experiencing just a very minor weekend with ICE, I'm on their side. Those guys in Minnesota live with ICE for months at a time, December through March every year. It covers their ground, makes roads and highways slippery, causes people who think they can drive in it to act like fools. After just a couple hours of sleet and freezing rain and having to let my Jeep's defroster spend 20 minutes in the wee morning hours of Sunday to clear my windshield of a coating of ice, very thick and very dense ice. Yes, I agree, down with ice, unless it comes out of the freezer. Good morning to y'all, and it's in my sweet tea. I'm Rayford Brown, and I'm from the South.
Okay, well, good morning once again. I'm Lee Barrels, and I'm here in the studio this morning, and grateful and thankful to be here and not holed up in the house where we couldn't get out because of weather. We fared very
Yeah.
well here on the coast. Thank goodness.
We did, and I think we probably had a kitty cat walking over the console while we were gone, while I wasn't here.
The cat did it.
Yeah, we used to blame the dog for everything. Now I'm blaming the cat.
That's the cat.
That little girl gets up here and she walks across everything over here. So I don't know what kind of button she's pushed, but hopefully y'all are hearing us, and we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Good morning, Pamela from Southport,
Hi.
North Carolina is listening.
So I
in
guess
this morning.
Pamela is hearing us. So good morning,
Yes.
Pamela, down there in Southport. Yeah, it's a beautiful
Southport.
place down that neck of the woods. I love it down there,
I do too.
especially coming in by boat and docking down there at the provisions company and all that sort of. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, my sister and I had just gone down to Southport, like to visit, to tour, and that was a week before they had that deadly shooting down there.
Yeah.
If you remember that,
Oh, I do remember it. And I remember it.
we passed
unfortunately
right
too
by
well.
that place. Not even. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
Whew.
Okay, I don't know exactly what's going on with the console, but we are here, and hopefully everybody can hear us okay. The weather officials had been talking about a winter storm for what, a week, 10 days, one that would impact more than half of the states in this country. Cold and blustery winds, sleet and freezing rain. Thank goodness it was short-lived around these parts. It was a pretty interesting weekend for members of the Onslow Amateur Radio Club. We loaded our cars and trucks and trailers and all sorts of stuff with equipment and headed for the Onslow Sheriff's Office training facility early Saturday. Sheriff Chris Thomas allowed us the use of a warehouse and training facility there, what I called the tower, so we could participate in the annual winter field day operations. Normally around these here parts, a field day in the wintertime. For a winter field day, we may be wearing a light jacket or whatever. This time we were dressed for winter conditions. So I guess it was very actual, realistic training, huh? Lee and other hams set up operations, including the installation of several communications transmitting stations and antennas, and we spent about 27 hours making contacts. That means we were talking with other people via amateur radio, operators across the country, and in a handful of foreign countries. The purpose was to practice our skills in case normal communications are disrupted in the future due to man-made or natural events, disasters.
Sure.
And the idea was we take our entire show on the road, we load our gear up, we take antennas out, makeshift antennas, or do whatever. We put stuff together and we start operating.
Absolutely.
We were successful. We did it all in less than 3 hours and up and talking to people.
Very
And for
much
those
so.
who don't think such interruptions are possible, one of the club's newest members, the very one and the only, our very wonderful co-host here, experienced that problem with a hurricane. It left her high up a mountain, totally trapped and without any form of communications with the outside world less than 18 months ago.
It happened.
Hard
Yes.
to imagine how nice it is to actually be in touch with the rest of the world. Huh? Yeah. Now, that inspired her, number one, to come back here and start studying and give yourself a ham radio license, because when you're out of contact by all of the means, you're good to go, right?
Yes, I'll tell you, I even got in my truck and thinking OnStar would work, and it didn't work either. So we were left with no communication for a good, 48, almost 40 hours or so before we were able to
Yeah.
make it out of Boone and hit the
And it
interstate.
could have been a lot worse.
It could have been.
Because, you got
We were
lucky.
blessed.
There were places, people in other areas where
Mhm.
they lost all sorts of stuff. And
Oh, it was horrible. Horrible.
so, anyway,
It's
you made
heart-wrenching.
it through. That's good.
Yes.
Now we wait to see how we compare to others across the state and begin our plans on how to do better in June. In fact, in this room here this morning, since the last 45 minutes or so, we've been making those plans here.
We've been making a list.
We want to make sure in June, the summer field day, which has been the annual field day since the 1930s, if I recall correctly. I mean, if I recall reading it correctly, I
Right.
wasn't there.
You weren't there.
We won't suffer the issues dealing with cold hands and bodies, putting antennas 65 to 75 feet up in pine trees in June. That's the good thing. It will be a lot easier. Just sweating to the sound of the oldies, and we will have air conditioning. So that's good too. But thanks to Sheriff Thomas and
Absolutely.
the folks out there, and a very special thanks to one of his officers, Kenny Sema, a guy that I've known for a long time, since before he was with this sheriff's office. And he was with a state law enforcement agency until he retired. And he came out here and he said he's in charge of the range. So he helped us out. He took care of business. He was out there bright and early on Saturday. So make sure we were comfortable and got everything ready to rock and roll. And we did.
Well, I will
we were
say,
rocking and rolling.
Onslow County, you should be proud of the sheriff's office of what they've
yes.
done out there. It's a beautiful area, and
It's a great
I really
training ground.
appreciate them letting us use it. I mean, it was nice.
And in case we have to set up things, that will be one of the locations they will be operating out of, because it's big enough to have, a lot of manpower. And they, even we know that when we're standing on the inside of that metal building, all of their communications gear will not work.
That's right.
There's no internet out there. We bring our own with us. We have a satellite
Starlink out
communication.
there too. Yeah.
That's ours.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I saw that was set
We brought
up.
that. The club brought that and operated around the clock with that. And at the same time that we connected that, we connected our telephones to it. So our telephones would actually work inside this
seriously
building.
thinking of getting a Starlink.
And that worked inside the building, and the internet worked inside the building. And then, of course, our radios did not work from inside the building until they were connected to antennas that were outside the building. Because, even just a few miles away, we had trouble being heard on walkie-talkies from inside the building. Same thing the sheriff's office will have a problem with.
Well, I was talking about the Starlink. I'm seriously thinking about getting one because, like the internet goes down here in town like it does frequently. Do you know Starlink has got as of December 2025, they have 9,357 satellites orbiting us up there in space.
What goes up must come down one
All
day.
but 10 are functional right now, but they're planning on putting up 42,000. So Starlink might be the way to go for the
What goes
future.
up will come down one day. You know that, right?
Look.
It will re-enter the Earth's atmosphere, and some pieces of it will survive. Where will it go? No one knows.
Well, I'm being positive.
I am too. I'm positive that we're going to get some satellite junk coming back to Earth.
Well, that's going to happen. Sure, that happens. Right now, we've got so many satellites that provide internet. There are places here in Jacksonville, like I can have my Sirius radio on. And there are certain areas I could tell you exactly where they're going to go out. When I pass by certain areas, it goes out. My satellite, my internet goes out in the truck, and then it pops back on. Right up here on Commerce Drive, there's some dead spots. Up here on Country Club Road in the Belfork area, there's some dead spots, and it's strange how that happens.
Would you check and see if the Facebook is picking up audio now?
All
Please,
right.
very quickly. I made a change here.
Let me see.
A button that goes.
Yep.
Down.
It's
Well, that was a minute or so ago. Is it still operating right now? Can you hear and see what I'm saying is going out of?
It's picking up audio now.
It is good. I found the problem.
Okay, very good. Yeah, got rid of the hum too.
Darn
We
cat.
had a little bit of a hum.
Darn cat.
I thought maybe it was cat hair.
A Jacksonville man was snatched up by local, state, and federal authorities last week.
Yes,
Spent
he
some
was.
special time in the county's bed and
Mhm.
breakfast facility, contemplating his first appearance in front of a judge on some pretty serious charges. 40-year-old Brandon Allen Nelson had been the object of a multi-agency investigation that led to his arrest on Friday. He's charged with 10 counts of felony second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Uh-oh. He was jailed without benefit of bond, meaning he had to stay in the jailhouse since Friday, giving him some quality time to prepare for his date with the judge later this morning. I hope he says, Your Honor, sir or ma'am. Please, I didn't mean to do it. Detectives with the Onslow County Sheriff's Office, agents with NCIS, the Secret Service, and the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation worked the joint operation as part of a task force on internet crimes against children. Yes, there is one of those. And the Onslow Sheriff's Office and probably JPD too, they have people that work with that organization. Additional details will be forthcoming. Meanwhile, if you by any chance have any information of any incidents involving Mr. Nelson, what's his first name? Brandon Allen Nelson.
Yes.
He's 40 years old. We had where he lives, but I forgot where it is, but he lives here in Onslow County. If you've got some suspicions, some issues, you got some facts that you think the sheriff's office might need to know, give them a call. 910-455-3113. 910-455-3113. In this particular case, you'd also submit a tip through the NCMEC cyber tip line. You don't have to remember all of that. Go to report, REPORT cybertip, one word, CYBERTIP.org. Lee's going to post it on our Facebook page shortly. It is the NCMEC cyber tip line at report.cybertip.org. Of course, for any crime that you know of or any individuals that you suspect of serious criminal activity, you can contact anonymously. That means without giving your name. Crime Stoppers at 910-938-3273. Again, that number is 910-938-3273. Any criminal activity that you know of, if you know of a suspect or seriously suspect and you know some stuff that's going down, you see guys from foreign nations coming in their house and to a house, 10 people living in the house, and they're carrying bazookas and, grenade launchers and stuff like that. You might want to contact Crime Stoppers. I'd dial 911 myself, but if you want to call Crime Stoppers for any potential crime, 910-938-3273.
Got it.
If you're interested, you don't have to give your name. Crime Stoppers folks will give you a special number, though, that will identify you, but not identify you. It will connect you with this information. Nobody has your name. It's kind of like not Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Here, nobody knows your name. If your information proves useful and you're interested, you could be in for a reward. No law enforcement will have any knowledge of who you are, and nobody will have your name. You will be given cash.
Well, it's like Tom just said, for that matter, if anyone has information on any child exploitation,
absolutely,
please contact the police. Good advice, Tom. And yes, I agree. If you know anything at all, please tell someone.
If it's happening and you see it, there are some warning signs out there. Y'all might want to take a look, because a lot of kids are aware of these warning signs. They're taught them in some schools. It would be really good that every child would know that if they have a serious problem, they've been kidnapped or they're being held against their will or they're being abused, there's a sign they can give to other people. Bad people have been nailed because kids were standing up in the car and giving the sign to other motorists who were passing by, motorists who knew what it was.
Right.
So we'll explore that too a little bit and get that information to you later on. But anyway, all the children should know it. All of us should know what to look for. And if we do, that's not a time to call, I'm sorry, not Crime Stoppers, call 911. Because, immediacy, tag numbers, information, descriptions, where everybody, this is something you need to get involved in.
Absolutely.
Don't worry about staying anonymous on that one.
Absolutely.
How's that?
Excellent.
Horky dorky. Let's do just a wee bit of weather while we still got a little bit hanging out there. I see it's still kind of on the froggy side. I see some fog up a little bit higher this morning.
Up till 8 a.m.
I mean, yesterday when we were leaving the field day event at 3:30 or something, it was still foggy.
Foggy. And when I got home, you could go outside in the backyard and just watch the fog just rising. It was crazy.
That's cool. The marine forecast, the service of live and local real talk, out to 20 nautical miles today. Northwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 20 to 25 this afternoon. Gusts up to 30. Seas 5 to 7 feet, except 4 to 6 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy, becoming rough in the afternoon. Tuesday, tomorrow, northwesterly winds 15 to 25, becoming westerly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Seas 3 to 5. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Wednesday, northerly winds 15 to 20, becoming northwesterly 5 to 10 in the afternoon. 2 to 4 foot seas. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon.
Okay, today, rain this morning with patchy fog, cloudy through mid-morning and gradually clearing with a high near 46. Northwest wind 8 to 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 22. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 15. A log on the fire. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 42. Tuesday night, mostly clear with a low around 20. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 44. So we're into a cold spell, especially nighttime. I mean, get your showers early, get your stuff ready for the next morning. Get under those covers.
Yeah, and get something. Keep the walls warm if you can. Keep your heat inside.
Yes.
There's not going to be any sun today, I don't think at all. So it's not
maybe some this afternoon, but maybe.
Wrap up. Please take care of your critters. Make sure you've got your pets secured and there's warmth. And if you've got some food you can put out for the wild critters, birds and whatever, because those things, and the deer and the bear and the antelope and all that sort of good stuff that may be roaming around the area.
Right.
There are no antelope here, by the way.
Well, I was just agreeing with you because if I said, there's no antelope, you would say, I saw one yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I had one for dinner last night. Checking with the Amateur Radio Club members out there this morning. I mean, it's been all weekend long, and some of us were up almost all night long and took a nap. We took most of us would take a little bit of a break, get a little bit of a nap here and there. But these guys are up bright and early this morning. Randy out of Southwest, he had 38 degrees this morning, riding around on his golf cart with his dog Boomer, and Boomer was kind of cute. 99% humidity in Southwest, no wind this morning, cloudy. 30.34 inches of rain, liquid stuff in his rain gauge. I'm assuming that part of that had been solid, and it warmed up and it became water. Lee out at Back Swamp, the other one, not this one, 37 degrees, 99% humidity, 3 to 5 mile per hour winds out of the west. Let's see, a total of 0.21 inches, I think is the way he had it, 0.21 inches of liquid stuff coming down. His barometric pressure was 29.53, which was pretty close to what ours was here. Joe, down in the boroughs, Wansboro, 40 degrees, 99% humidity, 2 mile per hour winds out of the southeast, and 0.3 inches of rain, and it was drizzling at 5:30 this morning, so he's probably still accumulating. 29.965 inches of mercury. Dale and Carol, our president and secretary of the Onslow Amateur Radio Club, they live up the creek, up the river around the bend. 38 degrees, 99% humidity. It was calm there. 0.26 inches of rain. Yeah, there was some rain to fall and stuff like that in the area. Ward at Cedar Point, 40 degrees, 99% humidity, northeasterly winds. They were kind of light. 29.88 inches of mercury, 0.45 inches of rain there at Cedar Point. He had some good rainfall. Bill checked in this morning from Catherine's Lake. At the lake, it was 38 degrees, and he had a light breeze going, and he had light rain. Lee, over in Woodlands, 38 degrees, 97% humidity, no wind. It was calm, 0.11 inches of rain. Here at the studio, it was 35 degrees then. It's now 36 degrees, humidity 99%. Winds were from the west-southwest at 4 miles an hour. They're still very light and variable right now from the west-southwest.
Yes.
And 29.85 inches of mercury, and a total for the weekend, 0.23 inches of rain and or sleet and or melting rain or whatever. Liquid stuff is what it measures.
Well, once again, I will say I'm so grateful that we in this area
Dodged it.
Yeah. Not so much for people across the states. We've already had 14 deaths recorded. Listen to this one. This is in Frisco, Texas, near Dallas.
Yeah.
16-year-old girl died from a sledding accident.
Oh, God.
The victim and another girl were being pulled on a sled by a teenage boy driving a car.
It happens.
When the sled
every year.
struck a curb and then hit a tree.
It happens every year.
And then you had another one in the Austin area that was found dead due to hypothermia.
Austin had a bunch of serious
yes, they did.
calls out
yes,
there.
They did.
So.
5 people died in New York City, according to the mayor, and 1 death was reported in Massachusetts. And then we had 3 deaths in Tennessee, 2 in Louisiana, and 1 in Kansas. And over 3,000 flights canceled. So,
I probably wouldn't want to be flying. I don't like flying in the wintertime, period, bottom line, okay? Those wings ice up. And if those planes are out there after they leave, after they've been de-iced and all that sort of good stuff, and they leave the garage up there, their parking place.
Right.
And they get out there, if there's any delay, and they're sitting out there on the runway waiting to take off, and those conditions are right, then they can form more ice. Ice is heavy.
Well, we had a private jet go down last night in Maine around 7:45 p.m. their local time.
What happened there?
They crashed as they were taking off from the Bangor International Airport in Maine. And it was snowing at the time, not saying that's what contributed to it. But right now they're investigating that and presumed that all 8 people
oh my God,
have perished. Of course, they've not yet updated and confirmed that.
No.
So snowy runway, I mean, I'm just like, when we have bad weather, stay home.
That's
home.
we tell people not to get on the roads when it's icing and even when it's heavy rain and stuff like. We encourage you to don't do that because things are not the way you normally are. Your vehicle doesn't perform the same way.
No,
your
it does
tires
not.
may not have quite enough rubber on them.
I have
right
4-wheel drive. You can have 100-wheel drive, but on ice,
it's going to.
It doesn't matter.
And slip and
That's
slide.
Right. I did get up yesterday morning early and check some things, and there were a couple incidences. I won't even say the wrecks because I don't know if they were single car, whatever it was, but they did have some issues on the bypass, the big bypass.
When I was coming home at 4:30 Sunday morning,
right,
that was my first trip home after getting out there, and I had to. Stupid me, okay. First of all, I'm stupid.
Right.
Can I fess up now? Did I tell you I'm stupid? Because loading up all the trailer in my car and all that sort of good stuff, it looked like a goat exploded because I was throwing it all together on Saturday morning early. Should have done it earlier, but with the rain and everything else that was going on, I didn't want it sitting out there on an open trailer.
Right.
So it's stuff that can handle it, but I just didn't want it to get wet, and then I have to work with it when I got out there. So I didn't do it. The one thing that I did, well, 2 things. One was a fishing pole. There's another reason for me having a fishing pole. It was a backup, but I didn't need it, so I didn't miss it. But the one thing I did miss at 4 o'clock on Sunday morning,
What was that?
Was one of those 2 bottle of deep freezing stuff
Oh, yes,
that I
the
bought
de-icer.
last week.
It stays in my truck.
I had one, but one gave one to Robbie, and I had the
Mhm.
other one here, and I just had not put it in my Jeep yet.
Yeah.
I had not put it in my Jeep yet. It was here. I was out yonder.
Darn.
When I got into the Jeep, there was a layer of ice on there, and I
Mhm.
said, "Well, I'll just put no. You're not brushing that off." It took 20 minutes of my Jeep
Goodness
running.
gracious.
20 minutes of it sitting there.
It was
And
pretty.
I have a very good heater, a very
Right.
intense heater defroster. And I had that sucker going, and it took about 20 minutes to get enough wind stuff slushy enough that the
Right.
windshield wipers would
Right.
clear the windshield. Folks, if you get stuck in a situation like that, do not just carve a little hole in it and drive away.
It's Chris Marks.
Do not drive a car. You know, everybody carries a little
Right.
things you scrapers.
Yes,
That
I
is
don't
not
use those. Throw those in
sufficient.
the garbage.
That is not sufficient if you just scrape a little hole. That is still, you have limited visibility. It's bad for you, but it's also illegal. Just to let you know, you'll get nailed.
Uh-huh.
Chris, how are you?
Good morning, my friends, and Ray, for a good job this weekend, and Lee and all the amateur radio people for taking time out of their own peacetime, for lack of a better term, to go and do these exercises that you do to help the citizens of Onslow County. Very giving group is the Onslow Amateur Radio Club.
Yeah, we try. The group tries, and as individuals, I mean, you know, and we are still recruiting. We got one gentleman who's running for public office. He's out there. He's studying already. He's already got a radio.
Yes,
did you say?
he's
So
already
he's
got
listening. So he
radio,
knows what's going
yes.
on, and he's studying for his ticket. Lee got hers last year because of her her plight up in the mountains of
I'm
North
so
Carolina.
stressed
Her
out.
lack of
So
being able
stressed
to
out taking that
talk to the
test.
world.
And the
But
test is so easy.
But it was easy after you studied for it.
It was easy, but I don't like taking tests. I freeze
Lee,
up.
I don't think anyone does.
I go in there and I go, they say the first question is, what is the date? I don't know. Does Google have it somewhere? You know, what's on my watch? I mean, I just don't, I'm not a test person.
I don't think people even that go to renew their license, and all they have to do is do the sign test, or once you get past 65, I think you have to do the eye exam, even though you've just seen an optometrist. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can go see your eye doctor. You can get your exam. You're 2020.
Wait a minute now. I've got my license expiring in April this year, and it says I can take it by mail. I can't do that.
Well, wait till you try to do it on mail, and they're going to say, "I'm sorry, you can't do this."
Oh, those little boogers! They're taunting me. This is a lie. The government has lied to me again.
I've done mine by mail for the last 2 or 3 renewals. I know I won't be lucky this time, but.
You can renew your license up to 6 months before it expires. Skip the trip to the DMV and renew online today. Oh, it's got a little asterisk. If you renewed online last time, you must renew in person. Oh, God. Yes. Okay. Schedule your appointment today. Skip the line. I'm glad you told me this, because I've had this card sitting up here. I was getting ready to take care of it.
Well, that's why I told you I have so much trouble when I go vote, because my driver's license picture is so old.
Well, if it's over 2 weeks old, your hair changes. Every woman in the world hair changes.
Because I just went from blonde to this color now, whatever it is. But on my driver's license picture, my hair looks black because I was born with black hair.
Here's what they need to do. They need to give women the opportunity to have 2 pictures on their licenses, one on the front, one on the back. Depends upon the season. When I'm governor, that's what I will mandate. That will be my first executive order.
We should be able to go in online and just change our pictures according to our hair color.
That way I can get, as every week that goes by, that way I can get, you could have that at the beauty salon.
The last couple of times I went in to vote, I'd give them my license, and they'd look at my license, and they look at me, and they look at my license. And they look at me, and
I could get the women vote.
They go, "So you changed your hair color?" And I said, "Well, isn't that a female thing?" Really?
I are a female, so I do what I want to do. What's it to you?
Oh my gosh!
Go ahead.
Well, for me, it's just you had a picture. You had hair last time. Yeah, I know I did, and later, 6 years later, I probably won't have any hair. So what's your point? I mean, checking, but you're going to run for governor. I know there's a state out west that needs somebody with intelligence to stop going and playing in front of the cameras, going, I demand the president take this, and I demand president. Like, I have to tell y'all something, my own personal opinion. I'm sorry out there today, but good news is Kathy gets her stitches out today.
Yay.
Hopefully get the splint and off the cast, and then have a little minor eye surgery. So that's why I'm not there, getting ready to take her to that. But those two people over the weekend were very irritating to anybody with half a brain.
You're not talking about Kathy now, are you?
No.
You went from one thing to the other without even
I'm lost. Yeah, okay.
I can do that. I can go.
I
know that. I'll read your text messages. Yes, you can.
Yeah, some of them I just go, he'll explain it later, because I'm just like, what?
But their comments this weekend after the unfortunate shooting, and by the way, I have a story on that real after this, but they just are trying to fuel the fire instead of putting it out.
Mm-hmm.
And their best bet is to just say nothing and have the people under them say even less, if there is such a thing as less than nothing. Because all they're doing is firing up people who really don't know anything that's going on in these circumstances. I'm not in Minnesota, so I will not say I have a first-hand knowledge of it. However, when you get one person tells you something that's a professional, you go, okay, they know what they're talking about, maybe. But then you start getting 3 or 4, and you start going, now that first person was right. Have you heard, and this, I've done some research on it overnight last night, that there are cells out there that know ahead of time of what agitators are going to do, where they're going to do it. Then they organize the protesters to get to that point before the agitator begins their work.
Yep.
That's what happened.
If you think this is done by accident, spur of the moment, or anything else, I will tell you that's like the idiots, and that was one of them who ran for president, who was a Secretary of State at the time, not calling her name. That's what she said of the events in Beirut. That was just a spur of the moment.
Oh,
thing.
she better not even start that mess again.
Right. He said,
And then she calls me deplorable.
200 people just happened to be at this one location. Out of all the protest areas that are going on in Minnesota, at this one location at that one particular moment, 200 people just happened to be there.
Right.
There's those of us who've ever worked in law enforcement, we don't believe in coincidences. Not at all. There is no such thing. There's no such thing as an accident. You have to understand, there's our mentality. Somebody is involved in anything that occurs, and it is done sometimes with ill will. Sometimes it's done out of stupidity, as in wrecks, or carelessness. But that is the way we think. And you tell me where I'm wrong.
Well,
silence.
You're not. I mean, I stay objective on the show, as we all try to do, and we are. But we tell it like it is from our viewpoint, not somebody else's. These coincidences are happening too often.
They are
too many. Oh, we've got 6 different camera videos of this. How do you have 6 cameras, different video cameras, unless it's already been staged to happen at this place?
Chris, you're talking about the shooting that occurred yesterday. It no sooner happened, and there were so many videos out. What may be AI? I don't know. What may be this or that? I frankly am not going to make any determination on what exactly happened until we get the investigation out there, because I know that it no sooner happened, and there was a video of a Border Patrol agent. He had a gun in his hand where he didn't have one before. And then the shooting occurred, and people were saying that they had already picked up the gun before they shot the guy. We don't know. We don't know if another Border Patrol agent had dropped his weapon, and that's what they were. There's so much being said, and so many things already like, well, this is what happened. This is what we don't know what happened yet. We only know what we're seeing and being told.
And part of the issue that I have with what everyone's saying right now is it was a mass execution. If you weren't there and you're just watching all these different video shops,
a mass execution.
Yeah, that's what they said. It's a mass execution.
How many people died?
Laying there. Well, again, this is the wording of the people that the media are interviewing who aren't there. Their states away. They had the protest in Beaufort County this weekend.
I got you.
And one of the ladies was saying, it was a mass execution. They filled him full of bullets after he was dead. Really?
5 minutes after the shooting happened, the stories went wild and if you watch any of the podcasters that are filming this or that are out there on the scene and read the comments, it's just ridiculous. I had to turn the comments off. I mean, and look, already they have a GoFundMe for the deceased, over $1 million, over $1 million.
Well, I know some people that
he was shot yesterday and killed, and already has over $1 million in the GoFundMe account.
I got some people we could sacrifice for that kind of money.
Wow. Well,
there's 121 on death row in North Carolina.
Let's
say 121 and $1 million. That'd be a lot of money.
I'm going to tell you, it's just, I agree with you 100%, Chris. And Tom just said something, and I was thinking actually the same thing was going to say, is that I don't doubt that there is somebody either on the Minneapolis Police Department, Sheriff's Office, within ICE, within the Border Patrol, that is leaking information to the agitators.
So you have no doubts. You mean you have suspicions?
I have suspicions, okay. Yes. We'll use that word instead of doubt, no doubt. But it's just awful strange to me, like ICE, like the demonstrators, protesters went outside of a hotel last night outside of a Hilton in Minneapolis, and they were out there chanting and making all sorts of noise, banging on stuff because they assumed or heard that ICE was staying in this one hotel. Then they started smashing windows, trying to get inside. How about that, Governor? Are you proud of that? But peaceful protesters.
Here's one of the issues that I have with people who have, even like whether it's ICE, whether it's the PD, whether it's
sheriffs,
anybody. Not that any one of those officers would ever leak or tell anybody anything. However, their activities, they're getting up in the middle of the night when, your next door neighbor knows you're ICE or knows you're a cop or knows of whatever. And he sees you at 3:00 in the morning and suddenly running to your car, throwing your gear on, getting your emergency gear on, coming out of your house with your AR. When they see you doing things like that, then the word spreads and they just know for a fact what's going down, because they will tell somebody who tells somebody who tells somebody. And then the word spreads, and the worst case scenario is what's playing out on socialist media.
Well, I agree with Chris and I agree with Tom. I have suspicions that somebody is leaking information. Just because you're an ICE agent or the CBP
whether it's intentional
or whatever,
or not, though. But I mean, if you tell your spouse,
she tells her girlfriend,
and oh God, and to say, hey, what's Tom doing? I understand there may be some issues. Well, yeah, he got a call this morning and he's out.
Well, I'm not saying they're doing it in a mean way.
I know that. I can't tell you anything about it, but and then it goes from there.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes.
I just think pulling ICE out is not the answer. What the answer is,
putting more in there.
And have honest, civil, peaceful protest is one thing. Going up, spitting in front of these agents, throwing things, hurling things at them. This one lady commented and said, I've never been sprayed with mace before. Well, how many times did you act the fool? Okay. So if you're going to act the fool, you're going to be treated the fool.
Well, it'd be like, the guys that used to say, I've never had a ticket before. You know what the common response is for some of us? You got one now.
What gets me is they had Minneapolis Police Department out there yesterday, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep the crowd calm, but they're handing out donuts and coffee. What kind of message are you giving the protesters if you're on the law enforcement side and you're out there giving them coffee and donuts. Why?
Can I bake the donuts for you?
Does that make sense?
Y'all
and
like
the
chocolate
sad thing-
covered donuts? I can fix them for you.
But y'all don't worry about that one. You got your supplier. But,
know.
No,
Chris
no,
always
that's not
takes
the
care
kind
of
of
us.
chocolate covers you gotta be putting on them.
Right.
I got you.
Ah.
But
That'd keep
But
you
they're
off the-
wearing adult diapers,
that'd be
Rayford.
keeping you off the streets for a while. Why do y'all think you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Everybody knows what you're talking about. Time to change the diaper.
yeah, I look. Anyway, just wanted to throw some of that in since I couldn't be there live. But Rayford, Kathy did ask me to tell you that she, after she has the stitches out here in a couple of minutes or so, as soon as I get her there, she is swearing off these squirrels. No more feeding. They're gonna be on their own.
It's okay to throw the stuff out there. You don't have to be, going out when it's slip sliding time. I was thinking about her yesterday morning at 4:00 when I was getting in my Jeep waiting for that thing to warm up. I said, please, for God's sakes. I was actually sending you a message. There's a song, and not comparing her to this particular creature or not, but there is a song. It's an Aussie song. Tie me kangaroo down, sport. You should be tying your kangaroo down, bud. I swear that's what came through my mind. Sitting out there at 4:00 waiting for my Jeep to get the ice thawed. I should have called you.
Well, no, you could have. I was going through the same de-icing, if you will, on the way to church early yesterday morning, and that one of the other things, Rayford, we want to pass on people is even if you scrape, and you're right, you shouldn't scrape just a little itty bitty hole.
Nah.
Your ice is going to fall off as you're driving along.
Yes, it will.
Think about the people behind you.
Oh.
Yeah. So best thing to do is warm your car up, let it ice all down, and then just drive
Do
safely.
not. Now, I've seen this happen. I didn't do it, thank God, but I watched somebody else do it, and before I could say, don't. They came out of the house with a pot of steaming water. I saw the steam coming off of the pot. I said, do not. Too late, Jack. Too late. You done been had, as the old Ray Stevens song had. She's done been. That was when the streak. Remember that song?
The streak. Well, good comparison.
This show is based upon music history.
Yes, it is. We could do a bunch of them. But look, I'll see you two in the studio tomorrow morning with a guest, Lee. I hope we can.
Yes, I've been talking with somebody right now a few minutes ago about a guest tomorrow. So I'll let y'all know later.
You talking in sign language there? Is that what you're talking?
No, one of our listeners is. We've been corresponding back and forth about a guest for tomorrow.
Well,
so
that's good.
with the weather like it was, nobody was biting
nice.
for a while. But it's nice now.
Nice. Come on.
We have the whole week is going to be good, cold but good,
and it's going to be getting warmer. We're approaching the 1st of February. Stay tuned.
We're not going to talk about January 31st and February 1st yet. That's a whole week away.
Thank you, Chris.
I'll see y'all in the morning.
I got another song for you right now. So hurry in. Rescue me.
Rescue me.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
All right. That's good.
People in Oxford, Mississippi, they had some hysterical, but they're historical events going on. It was pretty mass mess there. The crippling effects from the ongoing winter storm they've had, including an inch of paralyzing ice. Ice fell an inch thick. Do you know how thick? That's an inch.
That's a lot of ice.
That little, 1/10 of an inch that I had on my windshield. Imagine 10 times that much, an inch of ice. Power outages all over the place. Plethora of downed trees and power lines. The storm is slamming parts of the United States, of course, with intense snow and ice. More than 40 states have been impacted by this stuff. 40 states out of 50. Hawaii was okay.
Right.
It's normal in Alaska, bringing large bands of heavy snow, winds, and freezing temperatures to areas that are not accustomed to such conditions. That would be us. And that would also include Oxford, Mississippi, snow and ice. Man, widespread power outages, traffic issues. Oh, I'm just looking at a big old truck doing a snow plow. Not a little truck, not a little plow.
Yeah,
This is a big old dump truck with a plow on it.
They said as of 4 a.m. this morning, there was over 822,000 reported power outages. Most of them being in Tennessee.
300,000 of those people are currently without power in the state of Mississippi alone. 300,000 just in Mississippi.
Right. And I was talking about the flights earlier that have been canceled, and I said 3,000. That was just for after midnight last night.
Who would want to fly? Who would be? I'm not getting aboard one of those airplanes that accumulates ice on the wings.
On Sunday, they had over 11,000 canceled.
No,
I'd just be no. I'd be changing my ticket.
No, I just wouldn't show up.
Right.
Y'all, you thought I was coming? You were dumb. You should have known better.
Well,
according to the Mississippi DOT, many trees and power lines collapsed due to the ongoing intense freeze. Power lines collapse. Power poles will snap.
Wow.
Heavy accumulations of ice can bring down trees, utility poles, and communications towers. Do you remember? Oh, my God. This was in the 80s, I want to think. We had some severe cold, lots of ice, and in the Raleigh area, one or two towers, or the tall TV towers, with multiple TV stations on them. One of those was WRAL. I think WTVD also.
Oh, too bad. WRAL.
Two of those 2,000-foot towers collapsed.
Wow.
2,000-foot towers. They had so much ice on them, they collapsed under the weight with the wind. Guy wires was snapping, and once one guy wire goes, everything starts zigzagging back and forth.
Wow.
I remember that. I just thought about that. Those stations were knocked off. They had to get up some temporary stuff in a hurry, short towers and stuff like that, just to stay on the air. And yeah, communications towers, absolutely. Again, that could happen here in Onslow County or any other county even during ice storms. That's why the hams will be out. We don't have to depend upon those massive communications towers. We do have repeaters on a number of towers, but we also have a repeater on top of a water tower in Swansboro. We don't have it, but a guy there has it. We have another repeater on top of the Onslow Memorial Hospital. So unless the hospital collapses, our antenna will be there. No tower needed. And then, of course, we can go without repeaters, too. We can just talk to each other from point A to point B. No trouble. This is still going on in Mississippi. Wow. The power outage, 300,000 in Mississippi alone. And you said 800,000 in all across the country. Wow. What a mess.
It was a huge storm. And I don't want to repeat it.
I
do not want to see any repeats.
The governor there is doing what governors do. He's taking care of business at home. He's not traveling all over the world and creating hate and discontent.
Right. Stay at home.
He's trying to help people out there. He says trees are still going to come down. Power outages will continue. The roads are just like, holy moly, all over a big, widespread part of the country. We are lucky here. Well, if we follow the radar, I did throughout the weekend. I kept it up and I kept looking at it on my phone, and I'm like, this could be scary. And it just sort of curved around us here in eastern North Carolina. Yeah, we got a little bit of sleet, and that's all we got. We were blessed, folks. We were blessed.
Very blessed.
Along the Gulf Coast, a tornado watch was issued. They had some one or two tornadoes that were seen, picked up on radar.
Thunderstorms last night.
So what a
crazy weather.
And offshore, I was looking at the radar this morning early. Was it this morning?
Yes. You were talking about it this morning.
And there was a big widespread storm system that was, thank God, looked like 60 to 100 miles out there. And it was, I'm glad it wasn't here, and I'm glad it was moving up toward the northeast, going towards the North Atlantic. Good place for it.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And it was loaded with not only snow out there at the sea. I hope no boats were in it, but it had lightning significant throughout the entire storm system. It had lightning crashes. Yes, we have radars that can see all of that, and that's what I was looking at. What a weekend! What a weekend weather-wise, and
It was a mixed bag.
hopefully this will be the end of it for this year. As far as I'm concerned, it should be. Maybe just give us a little snow, if not here, somewhere else, so it will be pretty for y'all who like it.
Yes.
As of late last night, they had already confirmed a total of at least nine dead across the storm area. But that is likely going to increase.
Right.
A lot of folks in New York, where they're densely populated and they have a lot of elderly and a lot of people, if they have power outages, people lose heat and they don't know that nobody checks on some of these folks. And then they find them deceased sometimes days later. So,
well, that's just like the woman in
sad.
Swansboro. You're following that story.
I was bring us up to speed. You're up.
All right. Swansboro PD had put out a be on the lookout for an 84-year-old woman. I don't have her name in front of me right now, that had not been heard from or seen since October 31st. I guess the family was trying to make contact with her and was not able to. Well, come to find out, there was two people that were taking care of her, caretakers, and they've now not been able to find the caretakers and trying to find them and make contact with them because now they believe that the woman is deceased. They went into the house over the weekend, Friday or whatever, and started, looking through the house, and the house was in horrible condition. We won't go into everything that they found in there, but they did find blood on the bed.
Yeah. And
so now they are trying to search for the caretaker. They've got a thing out on sheriff's office that's got one on their app too, in Swansboro PD with information on the caretaker. So, it has just such a sad story.
It's
sad. And a lot of people say, well, why didn't the family check? Well, the family's paying for caretakers and they put you put your mother's well-being into the hands of these caretakers. You assume that they're being taken care of. And I take it the family lived out of state, don't know all the details.
That's one of the issues when they can't have hands-on. Now, we had the same thing here. We had caretakers. People were with my mom around the clock, basically, and it took me with one of them that was employed. It took me about, a week to unemploy her after I found some things, and then I checked her background. I checked her criminal history with some assistance, and I found a sheet, a list. You remember those printers that print out the pages that are about 8.5 by 11,
and you have to tear them off,
and they're all attached. The huge printer.
Right.
Well, this one had a printout that ran taller than the ceiling of her.
Oh my gosh!
Her history.
How did she even?
I took. Well, came with good recommendations. So anyway, I took it and I called her on a Sunday evening. I said, "You're no longer here. You're gone. And here you can try to explain this, but you know what? I don't care.
It's crazy.
This is it. Let me just take one of them here. Let me take this one case right here. Because I'm me. I had to get my blows in, right? And I said, this one case has you stole a purse. Well, you pleaded guilty. You can't deny that. She said, no. I said, what? I was getting gas. I was at a gas station. I was filling up my car. And the woman who was filling up her car, she just walked in to pay for hers. And I saw her purse there. And I took it. What? Get out of my sight. And let me explain this to you. If you come back here on this property, you're going to jail.
If I find anything missing,
you're going to jail. We found plenty missing. You're going to jail.
Well, let me ask you, was she working for a company that you hired that oh, this is an individual. Oh, I see. Well, I will tell you that
check on them.
Check on your parents.
Do some backgrounds. All of those good deals that come down from people who come to help.
Right.
Who are there, who may have recommendations. Check on the people who recommended them. Might be a friend, but check and find somebody else. Get a second opinion. Always.
a dot matrix printer. That's what Tom just said.
That's what it was.
That's what it
I
was.
thinking
God,
that name.
you guys are old.
Thank you, Tom. What did you call me?
Just kidding.
You knew what it was.
No, I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know the name of it.
I didn't
But
remember the name
checking
of
on
it.
your parents is something good.
Yeah.
As we get older in life and we have debilitating illnesses like pneumonia. Pneumonia will rob you of all your body strength. You get to be a certain age, and you have to go into like a rehab. Twice my mother had to go into rehab, and my father had to go into rehab, both after they had had a bad bout with pneumonia, which means technically one of our nursing homes here in Jacksonville that has a rehab center. I will tell you, not so much as with my dad, because I knew he could handle himself, but with my mother, I would go to that nursing home at 7 a.m, make sure she's having breakfast and coffee, and I would stay the entire day till it was time for her to go to bed.
Yep.
I would make sure she was cleaned in clean clothes and in that bed before I left.
There you go.
You have to. I'm telling you, the things I saw and the things I experienced, and I won't even tell you what I went through when we checked Dad in, because I ended up having to go to my congressman, my senator, and all my state reps over the treatment. And that's a whole nother thing. And I was supposed to sit down with Representative Walter Jones and discuss it and, bring it to light. But then he got sick.
Mm-hmm.
And so that never happened.
I'll put a thing in there. Not all of them are the same.
No.
Not all of them the same. Unfortunately, the really good ones are generally filled up.
Yes.
Okay. And because and some people will go into like you had there, and hopefully they can come out and go home and be okay. But sometimes they're just there and they're waiting for movement to one of the other facilities. And that's, my friend in Wilmington that I go see, he's moved about 4 times in the last couple of years since he's been involved in this, but he's been waiting to get into a better one, and he's been working his way up and up and up, and now I think he's reached his senior year in high school, so he's in pretty good shape.
The last time my mother had to go in, we ended up putting her one in a town close by that was nice, and I felt confident.
Yep.
Plus, my daughter was close by too, so
gives you double coverage.
Yes,
that's always great because you can't do it all yourself. It's impossible. It's impossible for a person to.
And as we get older,
even if you raise kids, as you get older, you really don't want to raise any more kids, and adults who are kind of in a position needing as much help as kids, they're rebellious. They don't want you doing that. They think it hurts them to see you have to do that, but they shouldn't. I hope they don't ever feel that way.
I just like as we all get older, and we're all going to get older. That's life.
If we're lucky, we will.
Yeah, but it's part of life. But we find that we can't do things like we used to do.
I just want to be grumpy.
I used to be able to climb on the roof of the house and fix something. I don't do it anymore because these bones, are getting older and brittle, and I'm not as brave as I used to be. But there's a whole lot of things using step stools now with rails on them, anything and everything.
Parachutes when you walk up the steps.
Right.
The skirmish that led to Saturday's fatal shooting of an agitator by Border Patrol agents out there in Minneapolis. We've been talking about that a little bit.
Yes.
The response that followed were driven by what they're finding, a complex network of far left organizations with a wide range of causes and communications expertise. It was a coordinated web of encrypted chats, street alerts, and tracking of ICE, what they're calling abductors. In a sophisticated database reviewed by Fox News Digital, shows that agitators were already mobilized at the scene where 37-year-old Alex Pretty was killed minutes before any shots were fired. They were in place before the guns went off, or a gun went off. They were in place. They had assumed, they had amassed. They were there, waiting. Was he a sacrificial lamb? Was he a kamikaze pilot? Was he a kamikaze agitator? I don't know.
Don't know either.
I don't know. Was he just hung out to dry by these people that were just looking and waiting for the opportunity? Was he set up by the far left? At this point in time, and I did not follow this at all during the
Right.
weekend. I've been
I pretty
reading for the
much
last
did,
hour and a
yes.
half, bits and pieces of this,
Right.
and from something outside the news media.
Mm-hmm.
I am really, really suspicious.
Well, my big thing is now, like I said, as far as the investigation, I'm waiting for that because as soon as it happened, the speculation and the opinionated people, all the stuff started coming out. It was such a mess.
Here,
I'm not even going to make a statement on that. But why are you at a peaceful protest with a fully loaded SIG and extra magazines? Why?
well, because I'd be there.
And you
trying to
had
stay
no
alive.
ID on you. Is that dumb?
Yes. Okay. Here's, and this is like a one sentence. It's a little three pages, 3 sentences long, but 3 lines long. But this is one sentence that you tell me if this sums up what you've seen. ICE and the Border Patrol cops, they were there to arrest. They went there with the intent to arrest an illegal alien criminal.
Right.
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 That's what they were after. An illegal alien criminal.
Right.
And this guy who's now dead and others were there. Protesters,
Pee
right?
in my coffee.
Agitators are calling them, outside a donut shop
Right.
to meet the ICE cops as they came there as part of a strategic pattern of organized
Right.
interference with law enforcement operations. They should all be arrested. Everybody that was assembled there in advance should be arrested. If there was 50 of them, there are 50 different interrogation rooms. Interview chambers that where people like me need to be talking with them individually, one
Yeah.
at a time, and then compare stories.
I don't think
There's a problem. There's a problem here that we have not
It's
been
Phil.
able to identify yet.
it's Phil. We haven't heard from Phil in a while. Good morning, Phil.
Is Phil up there where it's cold?
Yeah.
Morning.
I bet it is
Good
cold, like where
morning. It's
Phil
cold
is.
where
Isn't
you
it,
are.
Phil?
Yes.
What's the weather like? What's the weather like?
That was an
It is
emphatic
snow.
yes.
What's the weather like?
Whoa. Oh, back that up. How much snow?
18.
18
Probably
inches.
18 inches.
That's about up to my kneecap.
Yes.
Hey, Phil,
About 15, 18.
it's really cold here right now. It's 36 degrees. You want to come on down? Bring your bathing suit. You'll be good.
I was texting my old boss and everything last night, well, all day yesterday, and
Got the openings?
yeah,
Ouch.
yeah.
Man.
Yep, we're at level 3 snow, with
No.
the snow,
Hmm.
because they couldn't keep up. It's, about 24 hours here. So,
That's a lot of snow there, buddy.
Chewy.
A lot of snow.
yes,
What did you say the temperature was right now?
it is probably 8 degrees. With the wind chill, it's
Can you
in the
turn the heat on
negative.
again? You're making me cold sitting in here in the studio. I just want to turn the heat back on.
Do you need me to
Yeah.
turn it back on? I'm good.
But yeah, I was another reason why I was calling nursing homes. What I did in North Carolina, I did convalescent transports. I see many bad ones and some good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, my dad had to go into a rehab center after a stay in the hospital and everything.
Mm.
We found one. It was very nice facility and everything. And he one night they served steak and lobster.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
Get a note of that address. I'm going.
Yeah, get a note of what was the name of that place?
But yeah, and they had on Fridays they had happy hour.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yes.
Do they have any sing-alongs or anything?
No.
I bet they do after happy hour.
Probably. But yeah, it's supposed to be cold. We're not supposed to be warming up until probably
sometime in February.
June.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
No, golly. Come on down. You know, you can get here.
Yes, I know how to get there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm just gonna stay home today, and
There you go. Stay warm.
That would be a smart thing to be doing, Phil.
Mhm.
Good golly.
I'm just
8
gonna
degrees, 18
clean
inches
the
of snow.
sidewalk and drive the little part of the driveway and the vehicle off, just in case I do have to go somewhere for an emergency.
No,
Right.
I'd call them, tell them to come to me. y'all, if I need help here, will you bring the ambulance and bring a full unit? Because you could just stay and set up shop. Lord of mercy.
You know, you talk about the code and then you talk about Minnesota. Do you know they said like the wind chill there was like 40 degrees, minus 40 degrees?
No.
Those people got a lot of bravery out there.
Yes, in the mornings it's supposed to be in the negatives.
Yes.
Then that's not counting the wind chill.
Well, right now it feels like 32 here with the wind chill.
Let's see what it is right now in Minneapolis.
Golly, 36 and
They're
32
just
feels like, ooh, brr.
dedicated to their cause.
No. I just never could figure out why you guys, knowing that for at least 3 months of the year, you're going to have miserable situations. I mean, here in December, Christmas time, it was in the 70s. Yeah, we will get cold. And we had one morning here, it was 14 degrees, but that lasted for a couple of hours. And then it warmed up into the 50s.
Right now.
Actually, this Christmas is probably around 60 degrees.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you know, ours is kind of normal. Yours is where you are right now is a kind of norm for January and February, isn't it? No. We will have in February. Mark my word. Put down the February 14th, that week or so, plus or minus in that area, and start checking the weather here along the beaches. You're going to find some girls at UNCW. And down in Wilmington, that week when it gets warm, they're going to be skipping classes because they're going to be out there in the dunes trying to get an early tan.
No.
That's the way it works.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, they do. It's warm.
You're going to pay for it later.
Have you seen the new post office vehicles?
No.
They're like a hybrid. Or they're electric or something.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let me know how that works out.
Yeah. Well, Amazon has purchased, they're called Ravions. They had a contract with Ravion. And they only go about 150 miles on a charge.
Unless.
And trust me, there's times that they have to find a charging station to charge.
Mm-hmm.
That's working.
And everything that's working, yes. They sit there for several hours.
Wow.
To charge enough where they can, one, probably finish the route or head back to the depot.
No.
Yep.
No. And people don't quite understand yet. I'm not sure how it works with the lithium batteries. I am reasonably sure it's going to be working the same way as it does with everything else. They do not furnish a charge as long in cold weather.
Nope.
We all know that. Oh my God! Do you? As a photographer, we used to take batteries and hold them under our armpits for our cameras. You understand? The battery packs were separate for the cameras, and we'd hold them under our armpits to keep them warm enough to keep it so we could use them. That's going back a while, but that's the way we did things.
Yes. It looks like it's still snowing.
Oh, bless your heart.
Well, bless you. Just stay inside and just stay warm.
I'm drinking coffee.
Do you have a fireplace or a wood-burning stove or anything?
No.
Peter? Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Well, I live in an apartment right now.
Oh.
It has two types of heating. It has a gas and electric.
Oh, my.
Yes. They just put the gas furnace in last year before we moved in.
The gas will heat it up. The electricity is just going to be, whoa, slow.
Yes, so.
Yeah, expect your electric bill to go up this month. Woo!
Yeah, I'm afraid to see that.
Phil, you take care, sir.
Yes,
Stay
you too.
warm.
Well, we're going to stay warmer than you are, period, regardless
Yes,
of how cold it is here.
definitely.
So I'm just
Have a
looking.
good one.
Yeah, Lee
Yeah.
just pulled up a picture here of
Yeah, right now
somewhere-
in Minnesota, it is minus 13 degrees.
Well, maybe the idiots will
with
stay
a
home.
wind chill factor of minus 26. And I just looked at the forecast for the week. Monday, 14 degrees, Tuesday, 8, Wednesday, 9, Thursday, 9, Friday, 10, Saturday, 16 degrees.
Put a 2.5-inch line coming off a fire truck, aim it straight up in the air with a little spray coming down on the
Rayford.
protesters. They will go home
Yes, they will.
They'll be like this.
on the way.
Frozen.
Icicles are walking.
Good Lord.
Captain Icicle, that's what we call them.
Have a good one.
Bye,
You
Phil.
too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Me too. Wow. And right now, we're not looking to get out of the 40s this week.
Apparently, I did not know. I did
Oh,
suspect it. I know that there are all sorts of underground cells in the country, but
Mhm.
we're, well, I guess our intel folks are working overtime, and I haven't been keeping up with them this weekend.
Right.
Not the media, but the other
Right.
folks out there. There's a national network, according to the media here. That's all I can refer to right now. A national network of socialist, communist, and Marxist Leninist cells in these United States. And they've been using this, they've been getting notoriety by using this latest shooting
That was.
and bringing nationwide protest operation into being. So they are just like politicians on the left in Washington. Every time there's been a shooting anywhere of anything, who dust off, let's repeal guns, let's make it illegal to have guns. They dust off the same old BS rhetoric
Mhm.
every time. And now you've got this other group that's organized. They're not politicians. Maybe they got political leanings, or maybe there are some. Well, I guess they do, because they got one of these guys who's he calls himself a socialist. I'm trying to find out what the difference between socialist and communist is. There ain't that much. And he's the mayor of New York City, the biggest city in the country. Whoa. Wow.
Who was that other group that popped up? I want
I
to say
don't
the
know.
National Front. It's Patriot Front. Oh gosh, it was in DC. Let me see. That was crazy.
They're saying these messages. Now, I don't know this. I'm reading this from a major media, not socialist media. The encrypted signal messages. They got something called signal messages now they're using.
Yeah, signal.
In real time, we're showing that anti-ICE, what they are calling themselves rapid responders, were actively tracking, broadcasting, and summoning backup around the federal agents outside the Glam Doll Donuts where the shooting happened.
Mm.
Local rapid responders, you guys are just like scum buckets, made at least 26 entries into a database called MN, that's Minnesota ICE Plates. Minnesota ICE Plates. In the critical hours before and after the shooting, documenting the license plate numbers and details of ICE vehicles, those that they thought were ICE vehicles, some of them were not, they claimed to see around the donut shop area. One of the entries read, at the so-and-so murder, the Nicolette, they misspelled Nicolette, that's the street that it was on, chronicling a black Jeep Wagoneer at the location with agents allegedly involved in shooting. They were putting that information out with the description of the vehicle.
Wow.
Another one said they were tracking a black Ford Taurus. Glam Doll Donuts entry, tracking a black Ford Taurus.
Excuse
These
me.
people are putting out information. They could be putting out information about your car if you happen to be up there going to the donut shop. You know that?
Oh yeah, well there was.
I mean, it's bad enough that they're going after the ICE agents and they're picking up. These guys at least have got guns, but if they pick on people like you could be the next victim of their own
see if I took a picture of
anti-ICE
it.
stupidity.
There was one political activist that is very, very far right that he had received threatening texts on his phone uh, yesterday, the day before, and I thought I saved a picture of it, but I didn't. But anyway, it says, "We have your license plate number. It is such and such and such. And this is coming from the protesters, and if you don't leave town, we will murder you."
Okay, that's a good threat. You got it, dude. Come on. Come
You
on.
know,
I will track you down now. I will track you down and arrest you.
You have a far left threatening the far right. And the group that was in D.C. on Friday is called the Patriot Front. It's a right-wing extremist group.
That's not patriots.
But this was, they were out there lined up in the streets of D.C. And then in Minnesota, you have individuals that a bunch of them got together. They're out there in full riot gear. They're carrying AKs and all sorts of long rifles and stuff. And they're out there and they've got on their stuff, not a cop, not ICE or whatever, but they're out there because they're exercising their Second Amendment right. I'm like, you need to go home. Everybody needs to go home.
There is a Second Amendment right. But there's also a point in there that if you have a privilege to drive a car,
right?
Too, okay,
That's that? Right.
You have all sorts of things, but if you violate laws while you're in the performance of supporting your Second Amendment rights to carry a gun, you go ahead into a bank with your Second Amendment right and let me know how it works out for you carrying your AK.
Right.
Or your AR or whatever you're carrying. Go ahead and walk into any bank in this country right now with a AR strapped around your shoulder.
Seriously.
Not going to happen. Okay?
No, it's not going to happen.
You're just going to have a bad day and a long time to get over it if you live through it. Because there will be people out there that will challenge you. And they multiple times before the shooting ever happened, they were putting out all of this information. They're calling for people to do very bad things.
Yes,
you know that?
They are.
And they're getting them. I don't know anything about this guy. What's his name? Pettit or something? Pretty. I don't know anything about him. I don't know. I know nothing about him. But, there are going to be people in these mobs, these groups, these stupid people that are out there. Morons is what I would label most of them. They are going to be so easily influenced because they are weak-minded individuals. You don't want a group, you as somebody controlling a group of people, as a far left-leaning group of moronic jerks. You don't want smart people out there in this group. You want the kind of people that the news media interviews down south after every tornado that comes through town or every hurricane. It was
pain delirium.
Yeah. It was thing, and what was that? They had mass, and that's the kind of people that you want to assemble because they will follow your lead, and then they will go out and do anything in the world, that's stupid. Well, because they follow stupid people. They enjoy it.
This young man, he was an ICU nurse, and he was in his own town, in his own area, and he was out there, part of the protest. What made him get out there and get involved like he did? I don't know. Like I said, I have a lot of questions, and I am not going to call it either way until the investigation's out there. And of course, already people are saying, "Oh, they're going to lie about what happened." And you got to trust the system.
And you guys are not going to lie about what you were doing and about all these messages that you were exchanging because they've got copies of all of it. You understand that all that stuff that you're sending out there, they already have it. You've got it encrypted. Duh.
I'm sure they've already.
To break that,
right? I'm sure they've already been into all his social media accounts, everything. So we're just going to have to wait.
It's everybody else's. It's all the stuff they're doing it in real time now.
I just think, can we just please everybody go home And you know, I'm almost to the point of like maybe ICE just needs to pull out a little while till things
Nope.
calm down.
Absolutely
Then
not.
come back in there, do what they need to do quietly. It's just
they won't be able to do it
I'll
quietly.
tell you what's going to happen though. There's something bad that's going to happen. Something even worse than this,
Yep.
which is bad.
Mhm.
But you're going to see. It's not helping situation when you have a governor and a mayor that before the
arrest
man's
them.
body is even cold, you're making all these assumptions and you're making all these comments. Stop it.
Take them into custody
Stop it.
until you can get control again.
Stop it.
Let's look at the ocean.
Let's look at the ocean.
Let's take a bunch of them out there.
Who wants to go fishing today?
I would like to, but I'm not stupid enough to do it. Out to 20 nautical miles, northwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots today, increasing to 20 to 25 this afternoon, gusts to 30. 30 knots in the ocean on a cold day like that. No. Seas 5 to 7 feet. Sounds and rivers choppy, becoming rough in the afternoon. Tomorrow, northwesterly winds 15 to 25, becoming westerly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. 3 to 5 footers. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon. Wednesday, northerly winds 15 to 20, becoming northwesterly 5 to 10 in the afternoon. 2 to 4 footers. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a light chop in the afternoon.
Chop, 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 chop.
I'd like to
chop.
have a chopped steak
Chop,
right
chop,
now
chop.
with gravy and onions on it. Oh, God.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
mashed taters.
I think I'm going to go Italian today. Today,
I thought you'd go. No.
we have some drizzle this morning, but we'll be clearing out through mid-morning. Then gradually, weather is going to warm up to a high near 46. Northwest wind 8 to 14 miles an hour with gusts as high as 22. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 15. Tuesday, sunny with a high near 42. Tuesday night, low of 20. Wednesday, sunny with a high near 44. Wednesday night, low around 19. So make sure you have your outdoor spigots covered. Do not have your hoses attached. Bring your animals in. Please, please bring your fur babies in.
If you've had your hose
It's
attached
cold.
and you've been running water through your hose and you've got
You
the
need to
hose
get
with
the
a
water
nozzle
out.
on the end of it where you just turn the nozzle on and off
Right.
because you never turn your water spigot off because you think that hose is going to last forever and ever. No, it's going sooner or later it's going to break. And here's what is going to happen.
Right.
Will be tonight when it starts to warm up tomorrow. If you've left that water hose on, your little thin water
Right.
hose that you got is going to be filled full of water. It's going to expand as it freezes hard. And if you've got the little nozzle on the end of it down there, that's made of plastic, right? I guarantee you don't have a good old metal one. You got plastic ones that cost you $4 or whatever. They're going to break right up front. Now, it's not going to start leaking until it starts to warm up tomorrow.
Right.
And then when it starts to warm up tomorrow, you're going to be sitting around and saying, I think I hear some water running. Are the toilets running or something? No.
I bring my hoses in.
Then you go back and forget about it for a while. And then the water, and then you walk outside to take your trash out or do something else. And you say, what is this lake
Jennifer.
about? What is going on with this whole big old cold lake? Where did this water come from?
I empty my water hoses, roll them up, and bring them inside and put them in the garage.
You'd make a good firefighter. You know that?
Right.
Because that's what they have to do too. Hey, Jennifer, what's going on?
Well, I was just calling in with the weather report from East Tennessee.
What is it? 68 and blustery, right?
It is 20 with a wind chill of 10.
Yeah. I told you.
Went to bed last night. Now, of course, when a week and a half ago, when they first started, or a week ago with all this, we was going to get 8 to 10 inches, blah, blah, blah. Well, by the time it came close, it was, a wintry mix, yada, yada.
And then,
Well, it started yesterday morning with a very fine snow, real fine. And, Saturday. I've lost track of time.
it all blends
Saturday.
together.
Yeah. Well, anywho, when it started, it was just a real fine snow, and just not really doing anything. Well, it finally started sticking a little bit. You could see it over in the bushes, all of that. Well, then it changed over to rain. Well, by the time yesterday morning, so that was Saturday, yesterday morning, all of it was gone. It was just rained all day long, like 48 degrees.
Wow.
Went to bed last night, got up this morning, it's snowing.
Jennifer, if you don't like the weather, just wait a little bit. It will change.
I said, well, I'll be Tom Brown. But anywho, so and actually it's spit the snow out there right now, just very, you can see it just a little bit here and there. But anywho, 45 minutes up the road, they've been out of power since.
Oh, my.
They've been out, see here in Abington, Virginia. I got a friend that lives in Abington, and they have been out 17 hours, I think, and estimated restoration 11 o'clock tonight.
Okay, now I'm getting cold. She's making me feel cold in here. You know what?
But, Nashville all Nashville got hit bad. I mean, Nashville was absolutely horrible, and it was funny. Yesterday morning, I saw on the news they were talking to Senator Blackburn, and she, of course, is in Nashville, and they were talking to her from her house, and I thought, well, gosh, that looks kind of odd. And she told them, she said, because they asked about power, and she said, actually, we do not have any power. And the generator did not kick on. She said, so they're trying to get that straightened out right now. But, yeah, so, Nashville got hit bad. And, of course, Oxford, Mississippi is just tore all to pieces. And I think about all the college kids, because that's where Ole Miss is.
Yep.
And, you think, and I think about the parents that have kids there, how they're feeling, can't get to them.
And then they can't get home, you can't get to them.
And I will go ahead and put my 2 cents worth in on all of the mess up north in Minnesota. 2 things. Well, first of all, now I was watching the news yesterday. Well, the news was on. I was working on a wreath. Terry was watching the news. But anywho, they were talking to one of the reporters, and he said that it was like him and, this camera guy and all that, and said that all of a sudden their car was just swarmed. And they were like, we're the press. We're the press. Because he said, of course, we've got on all of our stuff. And he said, he described it. He said, it's like the rioters have taken over. It's their street. And said that one of the rioters, the protesters, whoever, whatever you want to call them, said, okay, they're the press. It's all right. He said, and they literally let us on through. And I told Terry, I said, now, first thing you know, somebody else is going to get shot, and it's going to be somebody like that. And I think about the governor and the mayor. The more it goes, the more they don't try and de-escalate it at all. They are on there just, ICE has got to go, this administration, blah, blah, blah. And I heard somebody point out, and I hadn't really thought about it like that, and they said, because they had showed them taking out all of these files, checking all this fraud and stuff. I mean, they showed FBI carrying out boxes and boxes and boxes. And they said, do you reckon the governor, the mayor, all of these are kind of thinking that all of this is going to kind of
go away? No, it's not going to go away.
Well, not go away. The more of the rioting and the protests, all of the focus with the media and everything is on that.
It's a smokescreen. We know that.
Right.
Yeah,
That
no doubt.
They're trying to, they think, well, the news isn't reporting the fraud and all that anymore, so let's keep this up. But it is sickening. It is honestly sickening that they're going to, and like you were talking, and I mentioned the other day, it's simple-minded people that they have out there that is doing their bidding, and it's just bizarre, sad, sickening. I have no words for them not saying, "Look, guys, you got to stop this. Enough is enough, and we know what they're here for. Let's go ahead and help them instead of putting these people out." And it's all like I saw the press conference yesterday with the ICE and Border Patrol, and the man said, it's all about choices.
Right.
You make your choice to go out there. And it's like I said, Tennessee is, you can carry a gun.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Gertrude, but I don't carry my extra clip.
Why not?
I just don't. Half the time I don't even think about having it. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, why did that fella go with a load? It's okay. You got a loaded gun, you can carry whatever, but you don't have any ID. So right there, that isn't right. The first thing you should make sure, if you've got your gun, you should have your ID, so you can prove I have every right to have this. I'm not a felon. Blah blah blah.
I'm not an illegal alien. Yeah, I think comes a responsibility with the Second Amendment. All right. First of all, exactly what you're saying. If you're going to carry the gun, which you have a right to do, and you're not going to be on your own property, which you don't have to have anything on your own property. If you're going to be off of your property and you're going to be carrying your gun, which you have a right to do, then as long as we know who you are, and not as long as we know that you are not a bad person, we don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You could be John Smith. You could be Terry Blizzard. You could be, anybody. But I want to make sure you are not an illegal alien from some other country around here. I want to make sure you're not a convicted felon.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to be responsible enough to carry it, be responsible enough to be able to prove that you have every right to carry it. Yeah. And you don't go showing up at somewhere where that there's hate and discontent and fussing and fighting. You know it when you go. So why take it and all the extra? It makes no sense. There's a whole lot more that's going to come out about it. Anywho,
there's no constitutional right to drive an automobile, but there are people out there who claim there is. Some people have misinterpreted the Constitution, where it says you have a right to travel. You do have a right to travel in this country from one place to another. It does not tell you that you have a right to violate any laws to travel from one place to another. See, there is a law out there that requires you to have a driver's license if you're going to be in a car. And there are people that will misinterpret that little part of the Constitution that says you have a right to travel. You have, but you also have a requirement. There's a privilege to drive a car to get there. To drive a car, that privilege requires you to have a driver's license. That is not in contradiction to the United States Constitution, as the idiots claim. Now go to jail.
And I'll go ahead and say this. You brought up something else before I get off here. They're up there fussing about the ICE agents and all this, going up and want your papers, asking these people for their papers. Like that's a horrible thing. If you buy beer, they're going to ask for your papers, which is your ID. If you purchase a gun, they're going to ask. If you get stopped, you're going 70 and a 55, and that policeman pulls you over. The first thing he's going to ask you for is your so-called papers, which is your driver's license registration.
You know what?
I don't get it. I don't get it. You got to show your ID, for God's sakes, to go get a marriage license.
Well, do you shop at Costco or Sam's stores?
We don't have a Costco, but every now and then we go to Sam's.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you have an ID that's got your information about you on it to be able to shop there. Is that correct?
Exactly.
You have to be a member. Yeah. Have you ever been to a library and check out a book?
I have, and I have a library card.
Yeah, how about that? And you can't go to a library and check out a book. You can go there and read them while you're there, but you can't take one home with you and check it out unless you have an ID. Duh.
Right.
Idiots.
Student IDs, IDs for everything. But for some reason, this is just the most horrible thing in the whole wide world. Yeah. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm thankful that I don't understand it, because if I understood it, then that would mean I was just as crazy as they are.
Tell you what, you can't even travel aboard an airplane without ID. Hello.
Nope.
Gotcha.
Nope.
Okay.
You sure can.
Jennifer, thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Stay warm.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes.
I don't know how to tell you how stupid some people are.
Well,
and it's irritating that we allow them to continue to procreate, to be honest with you.
There's been so many opinions expressed, and the video's been slowed down, people making assumptions, giving their opinions, while others are giving facts, like the man did have a handgun in a holster. And the holster held his gun behind his back. He was wrestled to the ground. The preliminary investigation shows he was trying to reach for it. What all happened after that, I don't know, but
I don't know any of the circumstances because I have not read them.
I will say
I haven't even read them from the media about what went down specifically. So y'all can argue with me all day long, and I'll just have to take your word for it until I prove otherwise.
I'm just like I'm reserving until after more information comes out, because like everything else this time, yes, too real. It's on tape, but how much of that is AI? What's real? What's real at what we're seeing? Because people right now, it doesn't take long at all for you to just make one little blunder, and then you've got a whole video that's out that's all AI. AI right now, you can't tell the difference between real and AI. I am reserving my judgment on this whole thing that happened. I will say, though, that if there's a protest and I feel like I want to go out and protest, if I'm out there carrying a concealed weapon and I get involved with law enforcement in a scuffle,
you're on your
expect the worst.
You're on your own.
I just,
Cops are going to, I mean, you can have your gun. But if you are reaching for your gun, if you make any moves for your gun, if you do anything like that, you think you might have a right to do that. No, you do not, because cops are there to make sure that they get home at nighttime too.
Right.
And you do not. Just behave. Just behave. They have a responsibility to uphold the law.
So many different stories.
Well, let's go over to England.
Yes.
Prince William.
Let's go to England. Oh,
Prince William, he has a hobby.
What would
but he's having
be?
to give it up.
What would that be?
Oh, yeah. The King in Waiting's, that's why they're calling him. The King in Waiting. A recent move to Forest Lodge has forced the royal to give up his electric scooter.
What? Oh, come on. You're going to take the scooter
He's
away
got a
from
new
him.
home inside Windsor Great Park, where various forms of motorized transportation are banned, and that includes electric scooters. He can drive it around inside his house, I guess, but that's it. For reasons of safety and traffic management, we do not allow motorized transport within the park. That's according to the park's website. Aside from cyclists, the roads are reserved for residents and estate workers. That's it. Royal experts predict William will adhere to the e-scooter ban with ease, highlighting his anti-diva behavior. The 43-year-old prince was known for riding an e-scooter around Windsor Castle. Aw, poor baby.
Right. Oh,
They say he'll
man.
comply. I'm just looking at a picture of him on this scooter. Oh, please, dude, you're 43-year-old. Looks like you're riding a tricycle. A trike.
Well,
A
come
trike,
on
I
now.
said.
There's lots of people who like those electric scooters. Me, no, thank you. Anything that I could fall off
If you
of, I'm
saw
not
this one,
into.
it will look like an overgrown tricycle.
Oh, really?
Yes, it does. And it's like, no,
You go
no,
away
no,
and
no,
go,
no,
will you?
no.
Well, something we haven't talked about, and it's a heart-wrenching story. I don't know if I can even get through it.
What was it?
This is about the gentleman whose truck was found out on the beach at the Outer Banks on January 12th.
He had
3 days after he had last made contact with his family, and
But
he
he
was
had
out there
fatal-
with his
man, he had fatal
German
disease.
German Shepherd dog, who was 11 years old,
Mhm.
and the dog was very, very ill. Well, his father put out a statement yesterday, and it said that we recently learned that Christopher was facing a terminal illness.
Yep.
Knowing this has helped us understand the choices he's made. He loved the outdoors and valued his independence. In a separate post, the father had posted that they did find where the dog had been buried. It was a shallow grave.
Mhm.
So his dog passed away, which his dog was very, very ill.
Yeah.
But his father said, with heavy hearts and profound sorrow, we, the family of Christopher Palmer, have made the difficult decision to request that all active search efforts for our son cease. We recently learned that Christopher was facing a terminal illness. Knowing that this has helped us understand the choices he made.
Except the likelihood is what they're doing.
Christopher likely, now you got me saying likely. Christopher loved the outdoors and valued his independence. The treatments ahead would have taken so much of that away, and he did not want that future for himself. Personal belongings of Christopher's were found along the coastline. This is at the Outer Banks. And our family believes our son perished in the sea. As heartbreaking as this is, we have found a measure of peace in that understanding. So he said, we would like to thank the United Cajun Navy and every volunteer first responder and community member who surged. But they do believe that he willingly took his own life out there in the sea. And that was after he had buried his dog who passed away. What a heartbreaking story, Rayford. I read that, and I know I cried for an hour.
The guy was at peace. And,
Yes, he was.
That's what the way he chose to do it. So,
And his family accepting that, and
well, they're hoping for the best, but
Yes.
they're reasonably sure apparently, and they probably have other reasons.
such a heartbreaking story.
We got an aircraft carrier that has caused the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. You know what? He's gone underground.
Oh, well, good for him.
Yeah, unfortunately,
like a gopher?
not literally, but the Abraham Lincoln has entered waters in the Indian Ocean amid increasing threats from Iran. We got the
Wow.
aircraft carrier over there. Watch out, Ali Alaboni or Ayatollah or whatever Khomeini. He took off. The whole country may be getting ready for military action. He doesn't want to be there. He's hiding.
You think you poke his head out of the soil on February 2nd?
Maybe. A leading U.S. drone expert told Fox News on Sunday that Iran's drone swarms would pose a credible and serious threat to the Lincoln and its strike group. Really? Then we need to go in there and eliminate those drones right now. The top U.S. official said the Lincoln was not yet ready for any possible future strikes against Iran. So it's just there. Those idiots would be stupid enough to go ahead and attack the aircraft carrier. And if that is the case, then that will probably make glass out of a big chunk of that region because the temperature will get to be really, really warm. This expert has been involved in some other drone activities here. He knows about them. He's been involved in developing them for us, not for Iran. Wow. Low cost warheads, easy to fly drones. That could be the problem. Probably wouldn't send the Abraham Lincoln if he's not prepared to do anti-drone warfare, because that's the kind of warfare we're going to have to deal with some of these countries, because they don't have an army or navy or anything else to really do any war with us. So they can launch these cheap Russian or whatever supplied drones, Chinese supplied drones, or whoever's making them for them, selling them to them cheap, probably say just take these and shoot them against anything in the United States that the U.S. has got. We need you to hurt them.
Excuse me.
Iran could launch large numbers of these unsophisticated drones directly at naval vessels.
Right.
And that would be, it's kind of like when you launch a bunch of things like carpet bombing and things like that, you cover a wide area. Of course, you miss a lot, but they don't care as long as they get one or two that hit home. They're good with that. One or two that hit the Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, they would be happy with that.
Wow.
They call that a win-win.
Yes. Yes.
Forget the 200 missed. So, but that's the way some countries do. We've been involved back in the day in carpet bombing. Of course, we had a lot bigger targets, and they were a lot pretty well scattered. And sometimes the only way to get to them was to lay down enough bombs to saturate the area, kind of like wall-to-wall carpeting.
With the weather this weekend and everything going on in Minnesota, we've not heard much about what's happening overseas.
Yeah, some of that stuff could be intentional.
Right. True. Very true.
Keep us focused on other things.
Well, I know I was focused on the weather.
Yeah, the weather kept us going here too, but
yes,
the other mess up there in Minnesota, and we had something good to go deal with this weekend.
Yeah, well, some of us were watching the mess unfold on the computer while we were on the radio Saturday.
There was
a group of us. We were like, But
you were telling us all about them as it went by, and I said, another one. Okay,
yeah,
did the good guys win? That's all I want to know. Any good guys hurt?
I'm waiting.
As long as the good guys
waiting on this one. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about a little bit of fraud. Here's another big fraud thing out of California. Alexander.
That's the governor.
No,
He is fraud.
The executive director of the charity Abundant Blessings was arrested for allegedly embezzling over $23 million in public funds intended to combat homelessness.
And he got away with that. And look at the homelessness in California.
You wonder why the streets in LA are full of homeless people with tents in cardboard boxes? That's because the money is not getting to them. His charity Abundant Blessings was contracted with the LA Homeless Services Authority, which is a government agency, to provide housing and supportive services to over 600 homeless individuals across South LA. Instead of using the funds for intended purpose, Sufer allegedly misappropriated the money for personal luxuries. Listen to this.
$23 million worth of personal luxuries. Oh my God.
He's
what did he buy?
Of fabricating bank statements and invoices, now to mislead authorities about how the funds were being used.
But how did he spend them?
He allegedly pocketed at least $10 million for personal expenses.
What can you
including a $7 million home in Westwood, $125,000 Range Rover, private school tuition for his children, and luxury vacations.
$10 million person. $10 million. What would I do with it? Oh, I wouldn't be buying a home.
I know you'd buy a new radio, that radio that you owned for $8,000.
It was $10,000, but yeah.
Okay.
I would buy a bunch of stuff, but they would be stuff. But
these funds were intended to provide essential services such as 3 nutritious meals a day for homeless individuals were reportedly misused. Investigators found that many residents were only provided with ramen noodles,
Yeah.
and
That's 10
inadequate
cents a
meals.
bag. That's 10 cents. I'll give you 2 meals. Well, not only that. Well, yeah, they got that.
Oh,
Now,
wait.
but he bought them some tents, right? They got some cheap tents.
He's got a vacation property in Greece and went on luxury shopping sprees.
And where's your granddaughter?
She's in Greece. I need to tell her to go and take a look. Do some spying for us. Yeah, she's back in Greece. Thank goodness, back at school. Whew. Anyway, he was charged with wire fraud, a felony that carries a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. He's expected to make his initial court appearance shortly after his arrest.
Well, here's the problem that he really faces. He's got some fraud cases there to deal with. I understand that. It's okay. But you know who's going to get him? The same people that got Al Capone, the Internal Revenue Service. Because he didn't pay taxes on it. I guarantee you he didn't list them as taxes, as income.
But why are our government agencies, and I'm just going to use us as an example, city council, county commissioners, and I'm not saying this is happening in all, so I'm just using it as an example. Why aren't they thoroughly investigating these nonprofits before they give them money? Why? Who's benefiting?
Let's don't even do the nonprofits here for a second. Now, a guy who was the not the churches, a guy who was the director of social services at another county, not this one.
Yes.
Years ago, he told me, he said, they keep telling us they know that there's fraud, and we know that there's fraud. We know that the stuff that we're giving the people that we're going out there and that they've applied for welfare and they've applied for this, we have to investigate. We do not have enough people to investigate them. They won't give us enough people to investigate it. It will cost us more money to investigate them than it will be to give them the welfare checks, the payments that they are asking for.
So in the meantime, if you're homeless in LA and you're entitled to 3 meals a day, just get your plastic fork out because all you're getting is noodles.
Yeah, that's all right. Right? So noodles, they go a long ways, right?
Yes. Well, they say it takes a long time to thoroughly digest those noodles. I'm just saying. It's just wrong. There's so much fraud, and do you notice how it's all just keeps coming out at one after the other after the other? And I'm telling you right now, and I know I've talked to one of our county commissioners before about this, and he said that a nonprofit that's requesting funds, grants or whatever from the county, money from the county, they have to show their financial information. All that has to be checked. Have you got a spam call?
The phone that was ringing there, it was, and I didn't answer. I did answer it, but I didn't. Somebody said hello. I said, well, let's just out of curiosity. So I called them back right now. Here's that number.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Of course.
Please check the number and dial again.
The number's a scam, okay, people? That's the reason I don't talk to these idiots.
That's right. Scam. There's so many scammers out there.
Okay. Call him before 9 o'clock in the morning, too.
That reminds me.
They want me to do something about Medicare, I guarantee you.
Sheriff's
Even though it
office.
showed up as a Roseboro, North Carolina telephone number.
Right.
Bologna sandwiches. Okay. You guys, you like mushrooms? I like mushrooms.
I do.
Growing
up, I could not eat a mushroom. Now I love them.
Yeah,
Don't ask me why.
The mushrooms and gravy with some onions on steak. Oh, my God. Goodness gracious, that is so good. I like raw mushrooms right on salads.
Yes.
Chip.
Cut them up.
The mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
What are those? You can't think of it either.
Portobello.
That's the one.
Yes.
Slice those things up nice and thin and put them on top. Oh, and put some salad
I'm going to
dressing.
say, I knew Tom would know.
Anyway. Okay. However,
our stuffed
there's some mushrooms that look like they're edible mushrooms. They're cap mushrooms, just like the others.
Right.
They're officially called Amanita phalloids.
Are these the kind you smoke?
Nope. They got poison in them, toxins that can cause poisoning which can lead to severe illnesses, and in this case, in California, a deadly outbreak. The poisonings cause severe liver damage in both children and adults, resulting in 3 deaths so far, 3 liver transplants, and 35 hospitalizations as of the 6th of January. Oh my.
Wow.
Do not pick wild mushrooms.
No.
These look just like the mushrooms you buy in the grocery store. They're deadly.
And if they're outgrown in your yard and you have pets, dig them up, get rid of them.
Absolutely, do. Yeah.
My basset hound got very sick eating mushrooms in the yard. We didn't even know they were there until he got sick, and he had to be treated. And let me tell you, it wasn't pleasant.
Now, a lot of things that goes. It's okay because if you cook them enough, it kills the poison. Right? Not these. And report that death cap mushrooms. That's what they're labeling. Death cap mushrooms are still poisonous even after cooking, boiling, freezing, or drying.
If I have to do all that to them, I'm not eating them anyway. I'll just go to Food Line and get a box.
Most of it's in Northern California, some along the Central Coast. 19 months to 67 years of age, the victims.
Horrible. 19 months.
Some symptoms of this amatoxin poisoning: nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, dehydration.
I'm hurting.
Takes anywhere from 6 to 24 hours after you eat some of this mess. Don't do it. Just go to the store and get some that has got FDA approval. You're less chance of being. But some of these things are really pretty too. Pretty deadly.
No.
Good God.
Those can be. It's just like people eating wild berries off of bushes. You don't know what's good and what's poison.
Well,
didn't Snow White eat some? I don't know.
If you find a tree that other critters are eating from them, they know the difference. Believe it or not. What's smarter? Bears are smarter than we are because they know when to leave certain berries alone. They don't eat that stuff because they know it'll hurt them. That's the wild thing.
I don't eat anything growing outside unless I put it in the garden myself. So, because I don't know. It's like those wild strawberries you see growing up vines. Are those healthy to eat? Are those good?
If you know they're strawberries.
Well, they look like strawberries.
Oh.
I generally grow my own. I love strawberries. And that growing up, I never ate either. Couldn't stand, but now I love them. It's funny how things change as you get older.
The State Department, you remember that freezing all visa processing for nationals from more than 75 different countries, including, of course, Somalia, Iran, and Russia, reflects a growing recognition in Washington. Large-scale migration is no longer viewed solely as a humanitarian matter. It's become inseparable from questions of national security, economic stability, and state capacity. We all don't have enough room. We do not have enough people to process all of this stuff. Why should we, the people, the taxpayers in this country, the government is not the taxpayers. Their money comes from us. Right. The federal government's money comes from us.
So they're getting rich off of us.
And they're giving it, they're spending the money on immigrants coming from other areas. Even if they want to be here legally, those from Somalia, we're overrun. Iran, Russia, we got to be suspicious of all three, obviously, for obvious reasons, right?
Luxury shopping trips. Yeah, go ahead.
And for us to pay for them or to allow them and then to have to support them, no. Ask me again tomorrow, and the same answer is going to be there.
Reverend, I've known a lot of people during my lifetime, and I know some now that struggle every month
absolutely
to make ends meet, that go to the grocery store and buy bare essentials to feed their family, and they're maxed out on credit cards because that was the only way they could feed their family. And they work, they have regular jobs, they go out and work 40 plus hours a week. They do everything right. They cut their yard. They keep their yard clean. They keep their house nice. They do everything they can to be good people. and you have this.
Let
You
me.
have this.
I'm going to go off on Donald for just a second here. He's promising $2,000 per person.
We've been hearing that.
Okay, listen up. He says that by the end of this year,
Okay,
$2,000. Everybody saying, "Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy." How much do you think we pay every illegal alien? How much, not pay them directly? How much do you think every illegal alien cost us in this country? For
A lot.
immigration, for legal issues,
Right.
for food, for medicine. Do you think we pay each and every one of them more than $2,000 a year? Absolutely.
Of course we do.
It costs us more than what this president is promising every American in this country by year's end. And that is not right. We've got people, like you say, living under the bridges. We got homeless veterans out here. Who could they use the money? We've got senior citizens. We've got us.
Yes.
Those are Social Security, a fixed income.
Yes.
We got a $50 raise.
My mother,
A cost of living increase, $50.
of course, we all took care of my mother, but with her Social Security, she was taking in less than $10,000 a year. Less than $10,000 a year.
I understand.
She became eligible for Medicaid, which we found out towards the end, which we never knew. She still had Medicare through her Social Security, but then we found out she was eligible for Medicaid because of she's considered in the poverty range. But you know what? We had gone to social services for the Medicaid, and so while we were there, and this was years ago, the social services lady was so good, so informative. She says, well, she's entitled to food stamps too. Okay, well, she's entitled to them. She's paid into the system for 85 years or so. So, or less than that, but 60 years, she's entitled to it. You know how much her food stamps were? It was less than $5 a month. We said, keep it. I mean, but yet we are allowing the illegals to come in,
Encouraging,
and
it's
we're
not allowing.
feeding
Encouraging
them. And I guarantee you, they eat a whole lot better than what we do.
There's no doubt about it.
A whole lot better.
No doubt about it. All right, we ranted, we raved, we carried on.
Oh my
I
gosh!
finally
Look at
turned
that.
the heat on because I just got cold all of a sudden.
Yeah, no,
Talking
it
to
was
Jennifer,
good. It
she
was
just
good.
about froze me to death.
Yes.
She's the ice queen now.
Tomorrow we may be having a church group come on to talk about a fundraising event that
You
they're
mean I've
having
got
in
to
the
be
community.
nice?
So we're going to have to be on our best behavior.
Oh, for God's sakes.
And but I'll know more about it after a little while. And I'm still working on other guests for the
I am
week.
on my best behavior.
Yes.
Okay, politicians, those of you who are running for office in Onslow or surrounding counties, you want to be in office, you've got a free
What is
shot here
that?
first. You get a free shot one time for an interview. After
Right.
that, you're going to pay. And we will be selling commercials to the first come, first serve. We are not licensed by the Federal Communications Commission. We do not face the restrictions or the responsibilities that the FCC imposes. We do not have to take anybody and everybody that comes in here and wants to advertise. We will take them up to a point that is convenient for us, that it is not overburdening our content, our time, and it's acceptable. That's the way it is. So if you want to join the group here, and if you guys want to see some of the numbers that we get here, we'll be glad to show you some numbers from some of the things that we post or that when we're out there doing stuff. Okay. And I think you will find that per viewer,
Yes.
per person reached, you will get a whole lot of benefit.
Right, you will.
Okay. You'll be able to cut your own commercials too. All right. If you want to, or if you want us to do it, we'll do it for you. Anyway, I think that's all.
I think that's all. Please just stay warm
We'll
and
be back tomorrow if the
be
creeks don't
careful.
rise and they don't freeze over. If
That's
they do
right.
rise, you're live and local real talk where we're awake, not woke,
vote.
always the same way.
That's right.
I was not always awake over the weekend though. We'll see you in the morning. Bye.
Weekend.